My first pick, Jerry Rice. All right.
Okay.
So I go down to the chamber, and we're talking about this yesterday. And for those of you who don't know about the chamber of negativity, it is the most negative place on the planet. Kendrick Lamar came down to try and write his bars for the Drake beef and left because we were too negative. It's too dark a place to be. And we got into it. And every now and then you get into it with members of the negative chamber, right? Chamber of negativity. We're all negative. Sometimes the hate gets too hateful.
Right.
And I brought up Jerry Rice. And one of the members of the Chamber of Negativity tried to argue me down that Jerry Rice was not that great, that all Jerry Rice was a 20-year receiver, and he's just a longevity guy. I couldn't sleep last night. I was seething. I'm angry at this. You asked me about what I wanted to do, and I was like, yo, today all I'm here for is this part of the draft.
Okay.
Jerry effing Rice.
Please tell us.
3-time Super Bowl champ, Super Bowl MVP. One of 8 receivers to ever win only 8 have done it, and he's one of the 8. 2-time Offensive Player of the Year. Only 4 receivers, I do believe, have won Offensive Player of the Year. He's one of the 4 to do that. 10-time All-Pro. 10-time first-team All-Pro. He's got a second All-Pro selection in there. So he's an 11-time All-Pro. Are you kidding me? 6-time NFL receiving leader. 6-time NFL touchdown leader. 2-time NFL receptions leader. 80s and 90s all-decade team. What? Here's his NFL records. He's an all-time record leader in receptions, receiving yards, career receiving yards in the playoffs, games with 100-plus receiving yards, games with 100-plus receiving yards in the playoffs, career receiving touchdowns in the playoffs, career total touchdowns in the playoffs, career all-purpose yards in the playoffs, most career Super Bowl receptions. What are we talking about here? And if you just here's what I did. I was like, okay, the argument was he played for 20 years. Of course, he's going to have stats. I said, okay, I'm going to look at the top 9, outside of Jerry Rice, top 9 players in receptions. And I'm going to take the average of their career length.
Okay.
Fitzgerald, Gonzalez, Witten, Harrison, Chris Carter, Tim Brown, Terrell Owens, Anquan Bolden, Reggie Wayne. Take the average. It's 15.6. So I rounded up to 16. And wouldn't you know it, Jerry Rice played for the 49ers 16 years. So if we just look at Jerry Rice with the 40 effing Niners, his 1,947 receiving yards put him number 1 still all time, 200 yards ahead of second place. His 1,281 receptions, that puts him 4th all time, ahead of Witten, but behind Tony Gonzalez. His 176 receiving touchdowns, guess what that puts him? 1st all time. 20 more than second place. His 19,872 yards from scrimmage, 5th best all time. 186 total touchdowns, number 1 still. 11 more than second place. Like, come on, man. He has 5,403 more receiving yards than Larry Fitzgerald, who was second. He has 41 more touchdowns than Randy Moss, who was second in touchdowns. He has 33 more total touchdowns than Emmitt Smith, who is second there. What are we talking about? Jerry Rice is my 1 of 1, and regular Jacob, you could suck it.
Wow. That was passionate.
Because I will not have, and it's our fault. It's millennials my age fault. It's our fault for not telling the story of Jerry Rice the right way. It's our fault. We don't need to have one of these legend lore building documentaries every single time with one of these goats. We don't need it. It's trite, it's boring, and it's not entirely factual. That's why all of the Bulls are touring right now, tattletelling on Michael Jordan in the documentary they did, Last Dance, right? We don't need, what we need is people who actually watched it to stand up and say something. When you see something, say something. And when you hear one of these young punks talking about a receiver, a Randy Moss, who is great, a Reggie Wayne, who is phenomenal, Larry Fitzgerald, stupendous, Odell Beckham Jr., Justin Jefferson, whomever they're talking about, you need to step in there and say, yes, that person is good. That person is great. But let me tell you about the greatest wide receiver of all time. His name was Jerry Blippin Rice out of Mississippi Valley State, damn it. What are we doing here? Be better, middle-aged millennials.
Okay. Are you done?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
I'm good.
The Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt, live every weekday at 8 a.m.